Just walked 4 flights of stairs. Please forgive me. Guess I'm out of shape. Going to attorney's office. Ask him a couple questions. I always feel like I'm entering the den of thieves in here. Hi.
Can I help you?
Yeah, I just went over to the court, and I'm videotaping, and asked them who the court was. The reason why is because when I was placed into the Weld County Jail, they presented me with this document,
Okay.
and they said that in order to be set free, I would have to fill this out. And I said, okay, I've heard of PR bond before, but I didn't understand it, but this time, before signing it, I wanted to understand it.
Okay.
And so I asked them if I could have a copy over there when I was in the jail, and I said, may I have a copy so I could research it? And they said, well, we're not going to give you all day. And I said, well, lawyers spend years learning the legal language, and here you are, you're not even giving me any time to make a knowledgeable and understanding decision. Okay. And so when I got out, they let me out. I never did sign one, but I wanted to know what they were trying to do in there. So I asked the Weld County Sheriff if I could get a copy of this document, and they said, no, that is property of the court. So I said, oh, okay. So I thought, well, I'll have to go ask the court. So I went over to the court, and the ladies over there, who, to my understanding, work for the court, they're not actually the court, but they work for the court, and they gave me a copy. So maybe by giving me a copy, they're admitting that they are the court. So today, I wanted to ask some questions to the court. Since this is their document, I said, may I ask a question to the court? May I speak with the court? And they said, well, I just work for the court. And I said, so are you the court? And they go, no, I work for the court. I said, so I want to talk to the court so I can ask them a question regarding this document, because I'm concerned that they wanted me to become some kind of commercial value, because it says this party as principal and as surety, and then it would have the name that was created at my birth that I rescinded previously. And I don't want to enter in as commercial value for anybody voluntarily.
Okay, so how can I help you?
So they said, well, you need to go to this website. Okay. And I said, so is this website the court? Can I ask them, is that the court? Do I ask them a question? And she said, well, no, I'm not saying that. I said, so this is not the court then. And she, no clear answers whatsoever,
Okay.
which is what I get from government. They never give clear answers. And so I didn't get a clear answer on who the court was. So she said, well, go here and talk to an attorney. So I'm kind of here and asking you, who's the court, so I can go ask them what these mean.
You would need to consult a private attorney.
Okay, private attorney.
Right.
Do you know, what does that mean? Are they bound by the bar association?
Well, yeah, any
Okay.
attorney that's
So-
been appointed by the state of Colorado.
So that's more or less bound by the legal language?
Well, of course.
Oh, of course. Is there anybody that's not bound by the legal language that I could talk with? Because I've already talked to several lawyers. A guy over here, I won't mention his name. Another guy, they referred me to another guy, and he said, hey, these arguments never stand up in court. I'm not going to help you because I'm bound by the legal language. And to my understanding is that when you don't rescind your birth certificate, you are now exiting the legal language and entering into the lawful language of the Constitution. So, to my understanding, this whole country, through their ignorance, is operating under the legal language, and there's nobody to answer any questions of the truth to me, because they're all bound by the legal language, which to me sounds like it's some kind of a secret where nobody knows the inner depths of it, like it's some kind of a mystical.
Yeah,
Nobody knows.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't help you either. You would just have to consult a private attorney to understand what documents you've been given.
Okay, private attorney.
Mhm.
Well, one of my problems is that I don't have a lot of money. So, and like I presented to you just now, I believe that they're in contract to the legal system through the birth certificate. And so everybody's bound into that system. They're all operating in commerce, and everybody's given up their rights. And there's a lien upon their rights. So it's hard for me to find someone that doesn't have a lien on their rights that may be able to answer some questions for me. And obviously, I can't get none over at the courthouse, can't get none at the sheriff, can't get none at Greeley Police Department, and now it appears that I can't get none from you.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not able to help you. I know I'm sure it's very frustrating for you, but yes.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've never been taught the law, so it almost appears now that they're using my ignorance of the law to take advantage of me. And
well, a lot of times, if you consult a private attorney, they will consult without any charge to you. They could spend an hour with you. And
yeah,
just,
I did that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did that with one guy, and
Oh,
it didn't
okay.
take him long, and he said, "Oh no, I'm not going to represent you. I'm not going to get into that." Because representing is a legal term, and frankly, I believe that, when you go into court under a legal fiction, which was created at your birth, that is a legal fiction, and you're voluntarily, entering into their servitude, which I don't want to do, and I'm trying to figure out how to keep myself from being enslaved by the legal system, because I want to be free,
No. Yeah. But unfortunately, there's nothing I can help you, direct you.
All right.
Yeah, I don't have anything additional that I can
All right.
help on.
Well, ma'am, there is a case against me, against my legal fiction, I should say. But they're thinking that I'm in contract with that name, so they're going to come after my physical body in regards to that name when I rescinded it already, and it's all evidence, proof, and I got proof and everything. It's on YouTube. And so there's a case against my legal fiction that I'm not in commerce with. And, I'm scared because, it's through their ignorance and the fact that attorneys, I believe, use, the legal language to deceive people into thinking that they have power when they really don't. So do you guys represent the Greeley Police Department?
Yes, we do.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's a case right now that is against my legal fiction, and I imagine that right now I'm your enemy, kinda, since, they're alleging that I broke something of theirs, their law or statute. So
That
can
doesn't
you?
make you an enemy. That's kind of
Oh,
a
okay.
strong word.
Okay. So what word would you use actually? I mean, I don't know.
If
Adversary?
they've given you a ticket, then you're just a defendant.
Yeah. Okay, defendant. So would it be a defendant against my legal fiction? And I have a voluntary right to either contract with it or not contract with it?
Well, unfortunately, I don't understand your philosophy, so
Yeah.
I can't elaborate or
Okay.
help you try to
Yeah, a lot
understand
of
that.
people, when it comes to the birth certificate process, obviously we've never been taught in school. Obviously, we were never told about the bank. We were never told about the gold standard and the importance of the gold standard in school, because obviously we're not on the gold standard, and there's a reason why our forefathers made the gold standard law, and there's a reason why they're not disclosing that information for a purpose, which I know what it is. But now I'm trying to gain an understanding between those who say they have power over me, and because I'm not in commerce with anybody, I'm in commerce with the Lord because He's my provider, and I don't need benefits and privileges from anybody. But anyway, so if there's a case that is against my legal fiction, I need to investigate concerning this legal fiction, if in fact it is a legal fiction, if in fact you have power. Can I ask you questions regarding this case that they have against
I have
a
no
legal
knowledge of
fiction?
the case, so I can't, there's
No.
nothing I can answer for you.
Okay. But can this office answer questions in regard to that case?
When you go over to court,
Okay.
for your,
Okay,
whenever
well-
you got your ticket, when you go over, then the attorneys that are handling the case will talk to you at that time.
Oh, okay. So I guess maybe I just show up and present my concerns and go from there, and
Yes.
then because to my understanding, ma'am, is that this system's voluntary and the birth certificate is voluntary. I know that for a fact, and that it's fraud to try to force a contract using force and coercion and deception onto somebody who is none the wiser. So that's what I'm going to be doing, is I'm going to be pursuing charges of fraud against everybody that tries to think that they have power over me. So just to make you aware of that.
Okay.
And this office, and I'm not being an enemy. I just simply want what is lawfully mine.
Well, don't we all?
Yeah.
You have a good day.
Okay, you too. I appreciate your time.
All right,
Thank you.